Hi everybody, it's your boy Seth K Bani coming your way with another tutorial. Let's step into Photoshop. Let me show you how to create this artwork. So these are the files we are going to be using. I'm going to leave it in the description for you, and so it's not password protected, so guys, you can easily go for it, but watch this video to the end before you do that. Okay, so the dimension we are going to be using is 2000 by 2000 pixels, 2000, and then I'm going to set the resolution to 72, and then that is it. I'll click on create. I'm also going to set the guards, so I'm going to the view menu and I'll go to new guards layout. I'm going to set it to 8 across board, and that is it. Now we want to bring in our theme. We want the theme to be the first thing we're going to work on, so I'm going to click on my text tool, then I'll type here, and then I'm going to pick everything. I see this notepad contains the text. If you are somebody who follows my tutorials, you realize I always keep the details on a notepad for you to make it easier for you. Okay, so now this is the text, but it's not really nice. We can't put this on the flyer. We got to work on the text a little bit. I'll go to Windows and I'll go to character, and then this is the character. We're going to use Montserrat for this. Let's use black, Montserrat black. And then the font size, we're going to experiment with the font size. I'm going to set here to, let's set it to, let's see. Okay, now let's experiment with the font size a little bit. Something like this is not bad. Okay, so we're going to maintain this, and then you're going to also reduce the leading a little bit. We want the spacing in between there to be like that. Okay, so we also want to go to paragraph and make sure it is left aligned, because that is how we're going to do it. And then the tracking, let's set it to -40. Okay, and then set here to 100, set here to 100. This side, let's set it to 0. Okay, and let's leave everything like this. I don't want it to be this, so let's take it off, and I think this is better. Okay, so this is good on its own, but let's double click it and make it more epic. We want the color scheme and everything to be nicer, so let's go to gradient overlay, and then I'm going to set here to normal, the blending mode to normal, the opacity to 100. I'll click here, double click here, and I'm going to choose this color code 510C28. okay, and then I'll double click this side, and I'm going to pick D70042. Now these are the colors you're going to be working with. All right, now you can see it's not really nice. Okay, so what do we do? Let's set align with layer first thing, and then let's go to reflect. Let's go to linear, and then the angle here, let's set it to 27, and also the scale here, we want it to be about half of it, so let's say 50 or 51 would do, and that is good. Now you can see it should be half of this circle or half of this square, so let's drag it up a little bit. Now you can see it's half of it, and that is good. So let's maintain it like this. We can even do more to it. Let's zoom in so that you see the details well. You can do more to it. You want to double click on the effects again. Let's go to inner shadow. We're going to set this side to multiply, and then we're going to set the color here to color black, and then the opacity to 30, and then the angle here, let's set it to 161. all right, and then use global light, and then a distance, let's set it to 3. The choke, let's leave it like that, and then the size, let's set it to 7. I think this is better. Let's leave everything like this, and then okay. Now it's very subtle, but it is in there. I feel like we are already making a headway. Let's click on our text tool again. Let's type somewhere here. Type TO2. We are still using Montserrat. Just resize it a bit, quite smaller, and then drag it. Click on your move tool and then drag it somewhere here. Okay. Now with this, the color you want to pick is the color over here, because we are using a color scheme. We want to be repeating some of the colors often. All right, and then let's also create an ellipse. Hold shift, or depends on the version of Photoshop you are using. I think this would do. And then make sure the stroke is off. And then the fill, let's click on the fill, let's click on that one, and then let's choose this color 0243D. Click on OK, and then duplicate it by clicking on Ctrl J. Okay, Ctrl T, and then let's resize it in a bit. Enter. Let's go back to the fill, click on there. We're going to give it another color code. You're going to give it 00FFD8. Click on OK. Now we want a round text around it. How do we do it? Let's click on our text tool, and then let's hover our text, our cursor around it. You can see that cursor changes. Click on the bigger one. Okay, click on the bigger one. That's the bigger one. Click on it. Cursor changes. Type there and go and pick that one, act, and then paste it there. Now open your character. You want to set here to 0 for the meantime. Okay, and then also let's set here to 25. Let's see. You can even set it to 35. Let's set it to 35. Let's see. Okay, so still works perfectly. And then what else can we do to it? Let's set here to 20. Let's see. It's too big. Let's set it to 10. Let's set it to 10. Let's see. The opacity went down 100. Alright guys, sorry. Let's set the opacity all the way back. Okay, now let's go here to the baseline here. Let's set it to 10. Okay, so I feel like this is better. And one more thing we can do to it, we can make it 0. Let's see. Let's make it 40. Let's see. Okay, so we want it to encompass the whole thing, and that is what we are trying to look for. What else can we do to it to get that? Let's make it 130. All right, so we can leave it here, or can we make it 150? Great. Now double click it and go and pick this one, the black, right click it, path selection tool. Okay, you want to drag that one here, and you want to drag the other side here. Great. Now click on your text tool, double click it. You want to pick this side of it. Click here, come and pick the reddish side over here, and that is it. Just like that, you've achieved a very nice put it in a group, and let's call it acts. Put everything in a group, and then let's call it theme. In fact, the act, you want to also make it quite smaller, a bit more smaller, and then you want to push it in there too. And so that is it. We just achieved a very good design. Now let's bring in some few glows as well. And the glow, the first one we are going to be doing, let's create a new layer. You want to click over here, and then you want to also use this color code. We are going to use FFEBB0. Okay, so it's very light one. Nice. Now the first one we are going to be doing is, let's click on our brush to make sure caps lock is off, and just click there. Go and set it to lighten. Interesting. And then let's make it like that. Click here, and then drag it this side. Click it again, duplicate it, drag it this side. I think this 2 is enough. And then we can also go and bring in this power symbol. Okay, we want to place it somewhere here. There. It's just in the middle of the 0. Okay, so I feel like that's enough, but the black color doesn't stand out, so let's double click it and change the color to color white. Go to color overlay, click there and set it to color white. Great. That just makes it easier for us. Okay, also we want to make it glow a little bit, so let's go to outer glow. And outer glow, we are going to set this side to color dodge, the here to the opacity to 95. The color here, let's set it to that gray color here, and then the spread to this, the size to this, everything like this. Click on OK, and I think this is better. And you also want to duplicate this layer, and then click on that and then drag it there. Okay, and then reduce the opacity, yes, to around 30 there about. Great. Now we can put everything in a group and call it glow. Let's bring our logo or a handle there. This is the place the person is going to be streaming from, and so move it somewhere there. Click on your text tool and type there, and then pick the name and then paste it there. We are still using Montserrat. Let's set it to color blue. Okay, now let's work on the typography. Now we're going to use Montserrat. Like I said, you're going to set it to medium, and then let's set this to around, I think 35 is also better. Okay, and then let's set this side to -50. That's the tracking. Okay, it's turning out well. Make sure all is caps, and then let's also make it italics as well. And then let's zoom in. Ctrl H to bring the lines or the guides. Let's drag it to the middle here. In fact, let's make it much more bolder. Let's make it bold. Ctrl T. Let's make sure it's that, and then also that one. Let's resize it, and then let's skew it too. All right, so that is it. And then the glow and then the theme, let's bring it back. Click on your move tool, let's drag it down. Okay, good. Now we can also go and bring in the live streaming and drag it there. All right, enter, and then drag it somewhere there. Good. Let's drag this one in the theme as well. Okay, so that is it. Let's put this in a group. Let's call it F Facebook. Now we want to write our date there, and so we are going to type this detail, join us. We're going to paste it there. Pin your character. We are using Montserrat. We are using medium. We are using the font should be a little bit bigger, and then we are also set the tracking here to 0. Make sure it all caps. We don't want it to be italics, and then let's give it a color code FFC6 3D. Okay, nice yellow. You can't really see it well, but let's duplicate it and then bring it down, and then let's pick that one. We're going to make it color black for now. We're going to change the color of that. Okay, so copy it and then paste it. Montserrat as usual, and then we want it to be extra bold. Good. And then we need to increase the font size a little bit more. Okay, we need to increase it a little bit more, and then tracking is 0, and then all caps as well. Now let's zoom in. Close it. Let's zoom in. All right, and then let's. Okay. What we are going to do is we are going to right click it and pick our rectangular tool, and then just create a rectangle around it. All right, just like that. Drag it underneath it. I feel like we should drag it here a bit more. Great. All right, so let's double click it, and then let's give it this color 033530. Great. And then let's also right click it and give it ellipse to create a new and then create something like that. Click on there and then drag it here, double click on it and make it color white, and then reduce the opacity to 15%. Good. And then hold alt and then clip it to it. Interesting. And then click on your move to and move it there like that. And then just give it a layer mask. Make sure caps lock is off, and then like that, mask that side. How was I able to mask it? Because it was color black, and I clicked over here, and then I brushed it like that. Okay, so let's change this one to color white. Okay, and you want join. Guys, as you can see, all these are left aligned. This is also left aligned. Okay, so we are trying to work on, make sure the join is closer. The join is closer to it, and then both of them I think this is better. We're going to put it in a group, and then we are going to call it date. We're going to duplicate it. Okay, that's the beauty about it. Duplicate it, and then you're going to drag it down. Alright, you're going to name it time. Let's open it. Let's name this one time, and then that one, let's go and then let's pick this as well, and then let's paste it there. Good. Now Ctrl H to bring about our gauge, Ctrl J to duplicate it again and bring it down. You also want to make sure it's equal size between them, equal spacing. Okay, it's really important. Really important. All right, now you're going to call this one what should we call it? What's up? Let's open this one. Let's change the color over here. So I'm going to double click it. The color I'm going to give it is 7E0831. all right, let's close it. Now let's go and pick in the details as well. It's the details that make it interesting, the way you arrange the details. Okay, so you really have to organize it well. Okay, and I can see it really stands out of the whole thing, so I'm going to reduce the size a little bit to 41. Okay, and then I'm going to pick the number as well. I feel like the number is also going to, stick out of it. Okay, the number is there nicely. So maybe this one, let's reduce it a little bit more to 39. 39. All right, so that is it for you. Then the color here, let's change it to FF. I don't know why it looks funny, right? But it should have worked. FF. Okay, so I'm going to pick the color here, and I'm going to go up there. And let's see. I think I like that one. All right, so that is it for us. And then Ctrl H. Now you know what we are going to do. You can see we are using this line. You have to make sure it sticks to it. Okay, now there are little minute things that make your flyer a little bit, amateurish or unprofessional. Now you can see the T here touches the line, but the C here and the P here doesn't. We have to work on it. These are little minute things, but it really counts a lot. Okay, so let's open there, and then this is what we are going to use to fix it. Drag it here a bit. All right, now it touches it. Now go to this side as well, the P, and so another side, this side. Drag it nicely. Now if it touches it, okay, so you can see now it looks more nicer and professional. You also want to type here, and then you want to pick the name of the pastor, and then you want to paste it there. Open it. We are still using one font throughout. If you guess it right, it's Montserrat, and then we are going to use Montserrat medium, and then we are going to set it to that size a little bit, not too big like that. Make sure the caps lock is off. All right, and then the tracking to 0. Good, and then let's give it a color. We can pick the colors here. All right, or even pick the colors in here would do. Good, and then let's type there, and then let's type width. Click on your move to, and then move it on top of it. You want this color to be maybe this color here. All right, but we're going to use taken by vulture. We're going to use this font. All right, make it bold here and make it bigger, and you want it to be somewhere there. Okay, let's see. Good. Now let's drag, no, not this and this. Let's drag it outside it. Let's drag it there. Let's call it name, and then let's move it here. All right. Good. I feel like we are making headway. Everything is really calculative, really built nicely there. Now perhaps this is the time we bring in the image, but before we do that, we want to bring in that one and paste it here, and then we are going to pick a greenish color there as well, and you're going to use it already, Montserrat. We're going to use Montserrat. Montserrat is the main thing we are using here, the font we are using here, and I'm going to Ctrl T and then right click it and then counterclockwise. All right, I'll move it somewhere there. Now I want it to be a little bit elongated, so I'm going to make this side 1000 as the tracking, and then I'm going to keep the font really small. Okay, Ctrl T, Ctrl H, and then I'm going to fix it somewhere in the middle here. Okay, with that done, I also need to bring in our image, drag it in there and release it somewhere here, make it bigger, and then drag it there like that. Okay, now let's go, let me give it a curve. Okay, and then let me clip it to it. Let me drag this side up. Okay, and then I'm going to click this side, double click this side, and then invert. Good. Now click over here, go and pick my brush, set the color to color white, and then all I have to do is just mask the face. So I want some brightness on the face. That is all. Put it in a group and I'll call it image. Put this one in the group and I'll call it contact. And so this is how you create something like this. But then you could also realize that it looks like all the text are over here and there's a lot of empty spaces over here. And so what one of the things I like to do is to bring the contact a little bit closer to it. All right, and then I'll select the contact, I'll select the image, everything with the exception of the logo. Select basically everything. Ctrl T. Okay, and I'll just push it somewhere like this, so there's a space here, and it's not too much over here. And then also perhaps this is the time to maybe add in one more thing, the WhatsApp here, or the Facebook. Since it's a Facebook something, we just add it in there. And then let's go to filter, let's go to blur, let's go to motion blur, and let's just add some motion to it. Okay, I feel like it's too much. We're going to set the angle to 47 better, and then we're going to set the distance to 54. That way we can see the details well. And then okay, and then let's just reduce the opacity a little bit. That is all. All right, just drag it somewhere here, duplicate it again, and then maybe make it much more smaller, and then this side, and then drag it here. Okay, so maybe reduce the opacity this side a little bit more, and I feel like this is all. Let's put it in a group. Let's call it blur. Okay, so Control Alt Shift and then E. We'll merge everything together and then convert to smart object. Now we are going to our filter. We are going to camera raw filter, and that is where we are going to do everything. Now my camera raw here is a little bit outdated, but you should find it in your in your Photoshop. Okay, so let's wait for it to come. We are going to the temperature. I'm sure you find temperature there. Let's drag temperature up a little bit. Okay, and then also you want to drag the contrast. Let's leave the tint like that. The contrast, let's drag it up a little bit, and then let's drag the highlights. Let's leave the highlight, the shadows, let's drag it down, and then the whites, let's drag it up, and then the black, let's drag it down. Good, it's beginning to look nicer. Let's go and look for clarity. Clarity is over here. Let's drag it up, and then let's see whether we can find the haze over here as well. Let's drag it up. Now maybe yours, you can't find texture there, but it's all right. It's all right. If you can't find it, it's all right. Let's close it, and then let's go and look for details. Here you find details over here. Set it to 24 thereabout, and then set here to maybe few one, and then there few as well. And then let's go and look for grains, where we can find the grains. Okay, where we can find the grains. So all right, so that is it. All right, and then I feel like that is all, and then click on OK. And so guys, this is what you're going to have. Now if you love this video, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to this channel. Now the background is color white. You can put any white background there and it will still make sense. It's still going to be good. Subscribe to this channel. Okay, there's more videos coming up, and I can't wait to show you more. See you in the next one.